So today we're off to central London to do our photo walk, and we're going to be starting off in Tottenham Court Road, one of my favourite places to do a photo walk. There are so many amazing things to take pictures of in central London in this vibrant area. Doesn't matter what time of day, what time of year, even what the weather's like. It's always amazing things to take photos of. You'll never be short of a good frame. So for today's photo walk, I took inspiration from one of my photo books at home. This one's called Magnum Streetwise. It's got some of the very best street photographers across a few decades, and some of the photos in there are just fantastic. I grabbed a copy from Foyles in central London, and it was just £30. It sits on my shelf, and every time I get a bit stuck, I have a flick through and I get greatly inspired. So here we are back in Tottenham Court Road, and today I've got my Olympus OMD 10 Mark III with me. Such a compact little camera. I love the little flip screen that I've got on it, so I can hold it at different heights. Here I'm holding it sort of just below my chest, and I'm using the flip screen to take some pictures, and I'm getting that sort of fly on the wall, that documentary style of photography. I'm just warming up, but I really like the colors in this place. The screen keeps changing background, so I'm just looking for some interesting people, doing some interesting actions, maybe having some interesting conversations. These two caught my eye because they were using hand gestures, they were smiling, and they just looked like they were having such a great time. I tried to get the composition of the tree, the digital tree in the background, and a little bit of them in the foreground, and I think a couple of them came out quite well. So we're going to go on a long photo walk through central London. We're going to jump into Soho and other bits of central London. There are about, I remember from this was about a week ago, and I've edited it this week. I do remember at least 2 photos that I really enjoyed. You let me know by the end how many you enjoy. You can write it down in the comments, but I'm just trying to capture London life as it unfolds. And the one thing that I'm really trying to do is get separation in the people. So each person in the frame should hold their own space and be doing their own action. I don't want them overlapping. I don't want them causing confusion and interacting too much with each other. And that's exactly what I caught on these 2 pictures that you just saw. And here I'm just heading deeper down into Soho. It's a lovely day. It's a little bit on the cold side, but the sun's out, and that does make a huge difference. Not so much on these back streets, but places like this, you've got a coffee shop and there's 3 groups of people all doing different things. Here I love the color of this shop on the corner, but as you can see, that split second the frame disappeared in front of my eyes, and it was almost like a shoal of fish that almost came together, and that's not what I'm looking for. I want separation. I don't want too many people in the frame. I'm looking for simple backgrounds like here. The guy just walks off, the lady noticed me and she walks off. I really wanted her looking towards the camera. That would have made the frame much more interesting for myself. So it is quite difficult in Soho because it is so busy. And to do this style of photography, I'm just looking for a plain background, something with a bit of color, and you know, it could be a beige background, for example, and then somebody with a colorful top on in the foreground, or a colorful background with somebody with a muted color in the foreground. Here I took a picture of the pub, hoping that I could get a bit of separation, but it was just too busy. But still an enjoyable frame, but not something that I'd keep. Again, I'm just taking pictures as life unfolds. Try not to put too much pressure on yourself when you're out there doing photography. Experiment, have fun, just interact, smile, and enjoy yourself. I love the expression of the waitress and the guy at the table being served. Fortunately, it was just too busy in the background. If that was a plainer background, that really would have worked for me. So just taking a walk on, just exploring, constantly looking around me, checking out what's going on. Really like the light on this street, but it's just a bit busy. Here are 2 people just having a cigarette and having a chat. So I look away, I get my settings, and I just wait for the right time, and then I angle my camera and take the picture. Nothing to write home about, but it's just practice. Every time we hit that trigger button on our camera, we're learning, we're practicing, we're learning, we're practicing our art. So don't be shy. The worst thing is you think you could have taken a picture and you don't, because that voice in your head tells you for whatever reason not to take it. Remember this, this is actually my favorite picture from the day. I love the composition, I love the two guys and their poses, the separation, the green line, everything about it really, really works for me. Let me know in the comments below what you think about that photo and what is your favorite photo, because everything's subjective, right? Art is subjective. What's great to me or nice to me might not be something that you enjoy. So let me know in the comments below which photos that you like. So just continuing my walk and checking out my photos, making sure my settings are good, the sharpness, the color balance and so on. Here is a very interesting photo, a corner I thought. There's a bunch of people all doing different things, and I just caught it at a moment, even though there's nothing going on in this photo, the moment that I caught it almost looks like the guy on the right is confronting the girl on the left. It's just a split frame, a split moment. They were just turning and looking away. And that's one of the beauties about street photography. It's one of the things that I really enjoy about street photography, is that all of these frames, all of these moments are one-off moments in time. You cannot recreate it. Even if I had all of those people at hand modeling for me and I booked out that corner of the street and I tried to remake that picture, I wouldn't be able to. It'll be impossible. There's no way you can do it. So all of these frames that I'm capturing, these photos that I'm capturing, we're capturing history. We're capturing London life as it unfolds, or wherever you are, as it unfolds in front of you. And they're all one-off moments in time, one-off pieces of art. And I think that's amazing. So that one there, I liked the people sitting at the table. I liked the guy walking past. I liked the plain sort of muted background. The lighting was quite flat, so I would have liked that to improve. And also their clothing just kind of muted into the background. Everything was dull and grey, and it just didn't work as a whole for me. This one, I enjoyed the ray of light coming down on the table and the darkness of the guy. This kind of worked, but it's not one of my favorites. So I think one of the favorites that's coming up is coming up a bit later. So we already got one, but hey, you let me know what you think. I do enjoy this one. The guy wearing the yellow top, the lady, the two ladies in the background. Everybody is in their own space and has their own pose in that photo. So again, just looking around, just looking at the environment. I like the light on the side of this building here. Maybe I could have done something more with that. So it's very interesting, you know, looking back on these photo walks in the comfort of my own home. I notice so many other aspects that I could have explored. I'm looking at the shadow of people against that white building there that I could have done something with, but for whatever reason I didn't. I was preoccupied with something else. Probably the people across the road and the people sitting outside the coffee shops. And you know, these are all learning situations. I'm learning every time I hit the trigger. I'm learning every time I watch a photo walk. I'm learning so much all the time. I'm just practicing my art. This would have been quite nice to capture these two on the corner, but they did move, so I didn't have a chance to really capture it. These frames, these moments, they move so quickly, so if you're not ready to take that photo, they do just disappear. One of the problems with Soho is that it's quite built up. The buildings are quite tall, so on these roads you don't get too much light. There's some light down towards the end of this road, but on the particular road that I'm on, I can't remember which road it is. It's one of the roads parallel to Dean Street. But yeah, so I've got Chinatown right in front of me. I think I'm gonna head across the road. Oh yeah, Chinatown is one block ahead. Tried to capture this guy. He's a fellow photographer. He's standing in the light, but there's too much going on around him. I capture the photo. It's okay. Nothing to write home about again, but just capturing life as it unfolds, just taking my time and feeling into the moment. Nearly got run over by a Porsche there, trying to park up on a very busy street in Soho. So if you're interested in workshops, one-day city workshops in places like London, Berlin, Paris, Barcelona, and so on, make sure to sign up to my newsletter, where you'll be first to find out about these workshops. We'll also be doing workshops, 3-day, 5-day workshops, along with hiking in nature in places like Menorca, Ibiza, Greece, and so on. So make sure you sign up so you find out about these workshops. It will come through to your email, and then you can sign up to whichever ones that you like. So here, I never ever noticed this shop before, and I was just walking down the street, so I thought I'd pop in. It's a Japanese style vending machine shop, and there's people in there just looking at the machines and making their orders and just waiting. I've never been in there. Very, very tight, very, very small. Took a picture, looks good, looks okay. Nice bit of practice, but it's nice just to pop your head into these places and see what's going on. I really love exploring London. I've explored it so many times, but I'm still finding new things each and every time I'm out there. So here we're just heading over into Chinatown. You can see a little bit more light off the buildings. It does make a big difference when it comes to photography, a bit of light. But of course, in any conditions, we can take amazing photos. So heading over into Chinatown, and it's super, super busy here. So difficult to do this type of photography, but if you do take a look into corners, into places, you will find photographs. No matter how busy the place is, I can still find some photographs of the kind of photos that I'm looking for. And here I've got a guy who is delivering food. He's taking a break, and there's a chef taking a break as well. And they're both doing their own thing, holding their own space. It works quite well. The only issue is that they're both wearing those muted colors, and they're just kind of fading away into the background, but I still enjoyed the photo. It's not one of the picks from the day, but I still enjoyed it. I still liked it, and I'm glad I took it, and I learned a lot from it, taking it in that moment and looking back on it as well. I understand what works in that photo and what doesn't work for me, so I know what to look out for in the future. Just taking a walk through, and I noticed this bright yellow sort of background. People are wearing dull clothes, and I noticed this boy standing in front of it eating. He does notice me and start to walk off, and it still works. If you had stayed there, it would have been even better, but it still works, the capture that we got. I do enjoy that photo. So I'm really enjoying this Olympus OMD10 Mark III. It's a fantastic camera. These days, the Fuji X100 series is going crazy. I think is it the Mark IV or the Mark V? They even got a Mark VI out, I can't remember, but the X series is going crazy, £1,200 upwards. It's unbelievable, it's shocking. And I think this Olympus OMD10 Mark III, there's a Mark IV that's come out, so this is even cheaper. With this lens that I've got a 20mm Lumix 1.7 on it for £200, and the body of this camera you can grab for £200 or even £150. So all in all, £350, £400 for this fantastic combination, and it produces great pictures. It has a really nice retro look to the camera itself, and it produces these fantastic retro looking photos as well. So if you enjoy the presets that I'm adding, these Lightroom LUTs that I'm adding to give it that retro look, I will leave a link to the description below where you can purchase the RS Retro Collection. And I've used these in every single picture on this photo walk. Here is my second favorite photo of the day. We came across my first before with the two guys, and that is definitely my second favorite. The guy standing there, he looks like he's from 2 decades ago against his muted background. He's wearing dark clothes and just looks off to the left at the perfect time. I think it works fantastically. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Let me know which photo is your favorite. Do you agree with the two that I've picked, or do you have two others or one other, or maybe you don't think any of them are any good and just enjoy the walk through central London? And that's the thing. Sometimes I go out there for hours and I don't capture a photo that I like. Sometimes I might get one, sometimes I might get two, sometimes I might not get any at all. But it is me in the streets of London. I'm just getting lost in the streets. There's a meditation to me, and that I really, really enjoy. So we're just continuing our walk, and I'm just taking a look at some of the photos that I've taken, what works, what doesn't work, make sure they're nice and sharp, make sure that my composition and things are looking good. If not, making fine adjustments to my settings and keeping in mind what might work in future. Remember to take your time, walk slow, there's no rush, there's no end, there's no finish line. Take your time, walk slow, look left and right, stop and look, and just wait. Look at the light, look at people's expressions, look what's happening in the environment around you. Look at what is interesting to you, and why is that interesting to you? Ask yourself as many questions as you can and really enjoy your time out there. Because now I'm looking back at these videos and I honestly wish that I was back out there and not sitting in my room. I was out there right now with my camera taking photos because I just really enjoy it. My mind is at peace, my energy is flowing beautifully, and it's just an amazing expression. Photography, capturing London life as it unfolds, those one-off moments like we spoke about earlier, I think it's just magical. Oh, remember this photo? This photo, I mean, it looks like it could be in China, in Thailand. It doesn't look like we're in London at all. And London is such an amazing place. In one place you can look like you're in China, another place it could look like India, another place it could look like Turkey. And these little bubbles, these little moments of time, and really that photo, it could look like we're in the middle of China somewhere. So just head out of Chinatown here and just go across the road, and it honestly looks like we're in the middle of Europe somewhere now. Well, somewhere in Italy or Spain or even Portugal, just across the road. 1 minute we're in China and next minute we're in a totally different environment. I like the way this guy's looking into the warmth of the shop. I just waited for this couple to walk past and I captured it. And now, all of a sudden we're in Covent Garden. I think I popped in for a coffee, but here, this is a moment. Look, there's a person taking a picture of somebody by the phone box. Everybody's got the separation, doing something a little bit different. The lighting's a bit flat. It's not something that sparked my interest, but it's good to capture. It's good to practice. Okay, so we're coming towards the end of today's photo walk. I hope you learned something. I hope you enjoyed it. It wasn't the most exciting photo walk in the world, but I got out there, I'm practicing, I'm having fun, and I'm exploring, and that's what I love. I end up on one of the bridges overlooking the city, watching the sun go down. What better way to end a photo walk? Make sure you sign up to a newsletter so you find out about them workshops, and of course, make sure you get out there and take those photos.